Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an HMV in Minecraft, step by step, block for block, for all of your city building needs. This tutorial does include the interior as well. Fun fact, I'm hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. If you spot me, leave a comment down below. The first person leaving a comment getting it right will have their comment pinned. This is the amount of space required to make the build. I would highly recommend recreating this grid in your world if you are building this somewhere specific. To find the starting position, simply begin at the front left-hand corner of the grid. That is where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 6 black concrete extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend to the right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Extend down to the ground. Then return all the way back up to the top and extend to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And join all the way down to the ground, like so. Then return to the top and extend to the right by a further 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And join down to the ground, just like so. Then we can extend the top of this row backwards by 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We can then extend all the way down to the ground, and this is where it gets easy, as we can extend all the way across the back of the build, join down to this corner, and then extend all the way to the front of the build, just like so. Next, let's make the front wall. So, to begin, we will place an additional 2 rows of black concrete underneath this middle section. 1, 2. We will add an extra row of black concrete here on the right, and here on the left. We will then extend all of these blocks 1 row forwards, just like this. We then will remove this white concrete here. As a matter of fact, all of the white concrete from across the front of the build. The larger sections we will replace with black concrete, and the center section, the entrance, we will replace with clay. When it comes to these larger sections, we will place a row of polished black stone wall across the bottom, extend up the side here, and then across the top, just like this, as well as we can. And then we will fill the actual window in with glass pane, just like so. And we will repeat this onto the opposite side, so polished black stone wall across the bottom, extend up the right, and across the top. And now we can just fill this in with glass pane. And that is perfect. The next thing we will do is fill all of the remaining walls in with black concrete. With all of the walls filled in, we can now head inside and remove all of the grass. And we can replace it with good old clay. Other options include light grey concrete powder, even grey concrete powder. I tried, but it was just a little too dark in here. Plus, I really like the texture of the clay. It's really subtle, but it's just quite nice. So, now that we've filled in the interior floor, we are going to add white concrete along the inside of the walls. So, literally, extending all the way around, like a horseshoe. We will build up the walls using white concrete, stopping just one row away from the top. This is also part of an effort to make the inside of the store a little bit less glum. So at this point, we can actually add the roof/ceiling. So the ceiling is made using white concrete. We are just connecting this top row together. I did consider swapping the material for the ceiling actually, so I was just going to use one of the quartz blocks, and I tried smooth quartz, regular quartz, chiseled, I tried bricks, and nothing. Oh, I even tried block of iron as well, but nothing looked quite as good as the white concrete, so I guess we're a bit boring with this build, but it just works. Now, for the actual roof itself, we are just going to add a layer of black concrete, which isn't necessary. We have sealed up the top of the build, but if you do want to add some lights into the ceiling, which we may or may not do, then this will cover those up, so it is handy. Next, let's make some banners. Throw down a loom, open it up, place a black banner in there with magenta dye. The first set of banners we have to make are just the letters HMV. So H is Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Fess, N is Inverted Chevron, put black dye in, apply Chief Indented, magenta dye back in, and then Pale Dexter and Pale Sinister, and V is Pale Dexter, followed by Bend Sinister. So there we have HMV, but we are also making the logo, which I think I did an okay job at. So this first banner is kind of meant to look like a gramophone or an old school record player, one of the two. Well, black banner, white dye, we apply the Bend Sinister pattern, and then the base pattern, and then the Per Pale Inverted pattern. Grab that, put that back in, throw black dye in there, and we simply want to apply the Per Bend pattern. And that is our banner. The next banner we have to make is a small dog. So throw a black banner in the loom with white dye and apply the Creeper charge pattern. Grab that, put that back in. Then apply the Flower charge pattern. Grab that, put that back in. Then apply the lozenge pattern. Grab that, put that back in. Then put black dye in and apply the ball jaw indented pattern. Grab that, put that back in. Lastly, put black dye back in and apply the per bend pattern. Grab that banner. We now have every single banner we need to make the sign. So HMV, record player, dog. And there we go. And the idea is that the dog is meant to be listening to the record player. I will admit it requires a little bit of imagination, but I don't think it's too bad. With the entire outside of the store complete, we can now head inside and work on the interior. First of all, we will place 3 rows of black concrete extending out of the back of our polished black stone wall. 1, 2, 3. Then, on top of this row here, we will place 1, 2 black concrete, and this row here, 1, 2 black concrete. And then we will take these rows in the middle, and 1 row forwards, we will place an additional 2 rows, just like this. And then on the opposite side, we want to do a similar thing. So we'll start off by placing 1, 2, 3 rows of black concrete. And then we are going to extend up these 2 end rows, 1, 2. And then these 2, 1, 2. And then this block, 1, 2, just like this. We can remove these black concretes and replace them with bookshelves. And we can do the same on this side here. And then, up front, we can load these areas with paintings, either 1x1s, 2x2s, a mixture of all 3, just like this. And these are simply meant to be posters or advertisements, whether they be for movies or music or whatever you like, really. So once again, I'm trying to get a mixture, and I think that we have only 1 repeat, but you know what? I am going to live with that. So that looks really good. We'll add a little bit more later, but we also want to add a ladder just here and here as well. Next, let's add some shelves. We'll start on this left side. Begin by placing a row of 3, 1, 2, 3 pale oak shelves. Leave a gap of 1 and then place 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Add another row on top, just like this. And then over here in this corner, we will place 1, 2, 3 black concrete and extend that 3rd block this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like so. We will then place a different kind of shelf. So leaving a gap of 1, 2. Here we will place 1, 2, 3 bookshelves like this, which we will add another row on top of. Black carpet on top of that. And then pale oak shelf either side, just like so. Perfect. We will now turn our attention over onto this wall, the right wall, where we will start here and place 1, 2, 3 pale oak shelves. Leave a gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3. We will then add another row on top, just like so. And then we will leave a gap of 2 in between the shelves, 1, 2, and place 1, 2, 3 bookshelves, which we will once again add another row on top of, and then we will add pale oak shelves to the sides of these. We will do the same thing here as well, so gap of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, add another row, black carpet, and then the pale oak shelves. I think it's worth mentioning, you don't have to add the pale oak shelves if you don't want to. It will create a bit of variety in the store. So, along this back wall, parallel to this set of shelves, we want to place 2 rows of 2 shelves, just like this, so it's just facing this set. And also, we want to place a large painting on this back wall, and I know exactly the one that I want to use. I want the 3x3 sunflower painting. This is the one. I don't know why, but I just really love it for this store. I can't explain it. So, Now that we have placed that, we will leave a gap of 1 from in front of it, and then we will place 1, 2 iron bars, which we will add another row on top of, and then we will place paintings around the iron bars, just like this. Perfect. We will then, it's not even really leaving a gap, we want to flip up a spruce trapdoor like this, and we want to place 1, 2, 3 more on the side, and 1, 2, 3 more on this side, 1 here as well. Remove the bottom and place bookshelves, and then inside of this, stack some pale oak bookshelves like this, or alternatively, you could stack some different coloured shelves as well. There is also an option. I guess I'm being lazy. Maybe we could go with spruce, but it doesn't really matter. And then in front of this, we will place 1, 2 scaffolding, just like so. So the point of these shelves in the trapdoors is to have just some vinyl records that people can flick through. So that's exactly what I'm filling the shelves up with, just various music discs. I've literally just grabbed the first 9 as these. And if you like, you can be a little bit more calculated, but that's what I'm going with. Not only am I placing music discs here though, I am also going to apply them to these shelves here, so on this left side specifically. Now, I am being a little bit lazy here, so please do feel free to use a larger variety than me, but I am just placing a bunch of music discs in this set of shelves here. And all the way over on the opposite side as well, I'm doing the exact same thing. So once you've done that, we will move all the way over to the counter space and place a beacon here, note block here, or a jukebox, flower pot here, fern here, lantern here, lever gap, polished blackstone pressure plate, smooth quartz stair here, and then maybe just a couple of item frames to fill in the rest of the counter with either different music discs or different media. And behind here, I actually want to remove 1, 2, 3 blocks right here, and then the 2 rows above, and place a bunch of bookshelves just like so. If you want, you could add some chisel bookshelves either at the top or bottom or just along the sides, just like so. Next, we are going to move over to here, and we are just going to place some plushies in the form of just different kinds of heads. So we'll also have them on racks, air quotes, / hooks, some of which will be empty, so kind of like this, or I actually prefer like a layout kind of like that a little bit more. And we'll do the same sort of thing over here as well, so this one here, and then maybe we'll just have a couple of empties like so. And we also want to have a similar setup up front too, so just a bunch of different heads, maybe orientated ever so slightly, just like so. Maybe like a lectern as well with like a book and quill. There's usually just like loads of random stuff kind of like sprawled out in the shop window, so let's take a little look. I think that looks pretty good, and then we can just do a similar thing on the opposite side. So I don't think we used any of these skeletons, so like this, and maybe we can incorporate the ender dragon. Maybe we can chuck it, because I don't want it to kind of clip into the glass. Maybe just back here, and then stick a lectern here with a book and quill here, and I think that yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Next, we are going to add some oak trapdoors, like right in the middle as you walk in. So literally 1, 2, 3, the third row in, we will just place a row of 2 solid block. I'm using black concrete, and then clad the left and right side with oak trapdoors like this, and then just remove the middle. So these are basically just those security bars. You can move them 1 row further out if you like as well, but I kind of like them right in the middle for some reason. I don't know why. And on top of these scaffoldings, I'm just going to chuck a green and magenta carpet just like this. And if you want to highlight the shelves a little bit, so mainly these kind of like center ones that we have like either side of the bookshelves, you can place some black concrete underneath the pale oak shelves just like this here. And I think that that helps to kind of like break up the floor a little bit. I think it just looks quite nice, really. And also, something that we can do is add just a bunch of paintings above these side shelves. So here, here, and maybe just above here as well. And we can add just random proportions of them, really. So 1x1s, 2x1s, one. That's it, actually. there's no more. Just something like this, and hopefully we don't end up with too many copies. But if we do, I don't want to be too meticulous. I will be a little bit later, probably, and I'll exchange some of them because wow. 3 of the same 1x1 on one wall. Okay, well, you know. But it just looks pretty good. I think it helps to kind of like liven the place up a little bit. And something else as well. You can remove the white concrete between these shelves on the side walls, and you can place black concrete, and I think that helps create like a really interesting contrast. So I like it specifically just on the left and right walls, like so. You could try it on the back if you want, but the only reason that I don't think it will look particularly good is because of the central painting that we have. But let's just try it, actually. So I haven't tested it, I will admit. So it looks alright on the sides, but what about, I mean, what if we kind of give it its own, I don't like that, that's not good. So what about this? So it's either black border like this, or we can leave it white. Does that look kind of weird? What if we do this? I think that looks weirder. I think we might do that. Or alternatively, just have the back wall white. That is also a perfectly valid choice. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I just think that looks better. Next, I think that it would look good to add some black carpet in front of the counter space, and I think it does. Lastly, all we have to do is fill in every single one of these empty remaining shelves. First of all, let's make a banner. Throw down the loom, open it up. Black banner in there with some light grey dye. Apply the chief pattern. Base pattern. Put black dye in there. Apply the bore-jaw indented pattern. Then apply the lozenge pattern. Then put white dye in there. Apply fess. Black dye back in. And apply the bore-jaw pattern. So you've got to use a little bit of imagination, but this is meant to look like a cassette tape. So we are going to fill this set of bookshelves in with the cassette tape, and I think that I'm going to keep things relatively symmetrical and do the exact same thing over here on the right side as well. And since we're on this side of the build now, there are enough music discs that we can actually fill this set of shelves in with a complete different set than we have used already, so I think I'm going to do that. This set of shelves I am going to dedicate to t-shirts. So unfortunately we don't have 9 standard chest plates that we can use, so I think that I'm going to be a little bit cheeky, and I'm just going to reuse these, and it's kind of satisfying. Now, moving back onto the opposite side of the build, I am going to dedicate this set of shelves facing the counter to more toyish related items. I think that the spawn eggs look like toys of some description, so that's what I'm going with. Do feel free to pick out your own set if you like. Now, here comes the predicament. I want to dedicate all of these remaining empty shelves to like actual music albums or DVD cases or something similar. But I don't actually want to make what must be like over 100 different banners for this. I fully admit this is insanely lazy, but I just don't have it in me to literally make 18 times 5, 90 different banners for this store. So instead, I've thrown down a loom. I have a selection of 9 banners which are roughly rainbow based. And I'm just going to throw each banner in there with some black dye and apply the bore-jaw pattern. So it looks like a solid colour with like surrounded by a case of some sort. Now, again, if you do fancy making just a bunch of different banners and making them interesting, then do feel free to do that, but I just don't have that in me. So instead, I'm just going to apply these banners to these shelves, and whilst it won't look as good as if I actually, like, you know, spent time making a million banners, it's still going to look pretty decent, I think. I can't say that I'm unhappy with how this looks. With that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add HMV into our city. As I take a look around the city, nowhere is like really jumping out exactly. Like, the retail park wouldn't be too bad, but it's kind of full in its current iteration. We don't really have any budding high streets that we can work on right now until the next Destroy the City episode. Where it actually fits, I think, like style-wise, would be the new modern suburbs. You know, actually where it might fit is next to Blockbuster. If I extend this area, I actually think that I'm going to put it right here. I think it'll look okay. You know what, guys? I'm going to join it to Blockbuster. I think that'll look pretty good up here. It's unfortunately a little bit out of the way. You'd rarely have to look for this if you were exploring the city and didn't know it's here, but yeah, I like it. What do you guys think? You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini-City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.